star-studded. They're definitely one of the heavyweights again, looking to go back-to-back again this year, and the team that they pulled out this year, they're going to be a red-hot chance.
Yeah, it's very impressive. Obviously, you can't go past Hannah Dyball, Laura Peaty, obviously Danny Davis, and then some young guns. Obviously, you got Shelley Davis, but then ones to watch are Waira Ellis, Mackenzie Davis, and Coco Masters.
And for Brisbane, they've got a pretty good lineup as well. Charlie Nicola, Chloe Nicola, a couple of really good up-and-coming young players out of this Brisbane system who played Queensland secondary schools for the last few years. Meg Muir's another one to watch. So this is going to be a really interesting contest here in our opening game. It is the Sydney Scorpions with the first possession. There's Dyball. They've got players on the back foot. Doesn't look like she made the line. Well, you can't start a tournament in any better fashion than that. The Scorps straight from the tap-off.
No, they started fast and one set in and one try. So really good effort there. And who else but Hannah Dyball?
Just identified the offside player there for Brisbane. Jenna Rousel, one of their experienced players.
Let's see how they respond to Scott.
Yeah, they'll definitely throw the kitchen sink. A lot of these Brisbane players are also Southern Storm representatives that play in the Metro Cup on a Friday night in Brisbane. Made the Metro Cup Grand Final this year. Here is Meg Muir, one of those young ladies we made mention, just short of the line in the touch made on her by Laura Peaty. A very experienced player for the Sydney Scorpions lineup.
Yeah, and it's interesting. They've got all ages. We know Laura Peaty's a mum as well, so there's a few mums, and then obviously he's got these young girls, 17, 18, 19 coming through the ranks. So they've got a good blend of youth and experience across the field as well, the Scorpions.
And how much emphasis would you think the Scorps have put on going back-to-back? Because they've been in a lot of national finals over the last few years, but that was the first win for them since back in Elite 8 days last year. It's just that little extra notch because they've been a really dominant team, but they haven't really had the championships to match it. They'll be keen to get that double this year.
Oh, they'll definitely be keen. I'm sure it's something they've spoken about. They won't focus on it, knowing their coach Barry Gibson. They'll be just looking at their processes and getting through each game. But I'm sure it's in all the back of their minds to go back to back this year.
Back on the attack. Coming into the back end of their set now. Through the hands nice work though from Brisbane. Two defenders coming across to make the touch.
Yeah, and that was better defence there by Brisbane. So hopefully the communication nerves have settled and they'll work their way into the game.
And a good defensive effort on their line yet again. Now Brisbane have work to do to try and get down the other end. Looking to try and make some replacements on the field as well. Link back up to Muir. Down the sideline they come. That's good metres. Muir, though, just having to take an extra couple of steps to get to half as they juggle the football.
Yeah, they'll be looking here, Scott. They might draw a penalty here. The ref said play on. They'll be looking to finish the ball down this end of the field and then get their defensive structure right this time.
So they finish their set on the Scorpions' 10-metre line. It's just a little bit unclean on the back end of their set there from Brisbane. They did a good job to get it to the halfway and didn't really pick up too many extra metres on the next two touches. Scorps now get replacement players on. Dyball is influential, setting up the first try. We see Shelley Davis now getting them back on the front foot. Dyball looks to take off. Another diving effort and touch made on the boot. So they're getting a few questions thrown at them, but they've answered over the last two sets there, Brisbane.
They are. They've had to make a few try-saving touches, but they've been up to it thus far. They'll be wanting a really good set here, Scott, and they've given away a penalty there. The ref's called, I think, lent their arm around possibly and hooked onto the defender.
Hooking penalty.
And that probably wasn't what they needed. They had a first couple of good touches, but they need to try and string a whole set of six together and work themselves into this game because Scorpions are too good a team to be trying to line defend against them.
Shelley Davis gets into half, feeds early. They come back inside the Davis. Good defence again on the line from Brisbane.
Yeah, really good defence there.
That's a Dyball who straightens them up. Nice little short ball punching through again. Nice touch. 3 sets now defending their line. Brisbane have tightened things up. Score here.
Yeah, they've definitely tightened their defence, Scott, and they're coming in and shutting down straight away. So They can't seem to get their attack right just at the minute, but defence is holding up besides that initial set, and I've no doubt that perhaps that Barry Gibson and the Scorpions coach, they'll come in tight and then they might look long where there might be some space out wide.
So back-to-back sets for Brisbane as they're trying to transition out of their end of the field. They turn the ball back over to the Scorps.
And just watch here for Mackenzie Davis. As we know, she's been only young but already had an illustrious career to date, and she's very hard to defend on the line here with the ball now.
Go to Peter, who gets away from one. A little bit of space on the left. They'll come back and play it. O'Reilly back in field to Mackenzie Davis. As Petey plays it, receives it back from Davis. They go back to her now. Again, Tanamu this time coming up out of the line and forcing the pass.
Yeah, they're going to make Scorpions work for it and make them, throw the long ball or get around it, but they're just not going to let them through the middle by the looks, and that's a good tactic for Brisbane Metro in their first match.
They go away from their sideline this time. That's a good option for them. The last couple of sets they've just struggled to get towards their substitution box. They go away from that side. Now they'll make their way back over. Nice little coaching change there from Brisbane.
Yeah, I like it. They've just changed it up a little bit, and you can see it's going to be their best set of the match so far. First time we've probably seen them down this end of the field. So that was a better change, and well done, Brisbane.
They're just the little wins that you need, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're not going down the other end and scoring points as such, but just to complete a full set of 6 and pick up as much territory as what you can and try to change your attack into defence.
Yeah.
Positive signs there from Brisbane.
They just come on at speed, though, if you're watching the Scorpions, as they make an error in the roll ball. But as they go off the field at speed, and the new players coming on are coming on at speed and getting straight into the game.
Coming back for the penalty. Forward pass off the ruck is the call here as Brisbane regain possession. All of a sudden they definitely have better territory. Stems off that previous set that they had. Down the sideline they come. A little bit of room to work with. There hasn't been a touch made here. Brisbane get their first try on the board. Oh, little momentary lapse in defence there for the Scorpions. Uncharacteristic down the sideline.
Yeah, it kind of came from nothing. They're working their way off the line, and we'll see here on the replay, and their winger, I believe it's Zell Gillespie, races straight down the sideline. 1-1. Well done. It only took, Scott, as you said, that one good set of 6 where they got it down this end of the field. They drew an error when they were defending, and then, they've scored straight away. They'll be really happy with that.
Scorps will be looking to hit back. Dybel comes back in. This is pretty clean here from the Sydney Scorpions. And a great response that was. Just perfect setup. Everything was flowing nicely there, and plays in the right position.
Yeah, that was just too good there. So you can see the nice wide ball, and then just an easy put down for the winger. And that's the way you respond when you get scored against. Next set of 6, come up with a try.
So the Scorps are back in front. 2-1 on the Athlete scoreboard. Brisbane from the restart.
They should get an opportunity here, Scott. They should get a good, at least 3 touches down attacking the line.
There's Tanamu. Goes out to the left-hand side. Rousel puts the brakes on, comes back, floating ball out in front and almost picked off. Ball hits the deck out in front. Bad option there. Just when the defence just holds off a little bit, Brisbane decide to kick again.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. So they finished it down in this corner. So whilst they didn't score, they'll still be happy where the set finished.
Brisbane will be trying to focus on keeping the Scorps down this end of the field. And a penalty has been given away. It's not what they were hoping for.
No, and it'll give Scorpions a fresh set of 6 heading into attacking the line. And as you can see, we've got Davis on again and Petey. And then Maggie O'Reilly as well. So it's a formidable lineup, whoever is on the field here.
In for offside players there, Petey. Free says Brisbane were all good to go. Mackenzie Davis again, jinking around. Goes back to Petey. Gets the ball away. Referees are going to get this all clear.
And that's just too good, Scott. You see a play like that, and the defence did the right thing, but then it just takes a left to right, beautiful long ball by Mackenzie Davis, and the winger, I think it might be Ellie Wilson, in for her double in quick succession.
So the Scorps go back to back. Puts them in front now by 2.
And again, they've tightened up the inside plays there for Brisbane, and then, as we spoke about, Scorpions have just adjusted their play and now going long.
As Forbes plays it outside the 7, receives it back. It was just a tough ball to take over the shoulder.
Yeah, it's just a little bit behind her. When you play that ball, you just got to kind of take a step back, get straight back into the play, so you're a live player. It's a difficult one to catch.
Scorps now with replacement players flowing on. Players called offside here for Brisbane. Good officiating for the referee just to continue to let this one go. And, geez, might have just been able to punch through the hole there.
I was just thinking that there. Scorpions player, I think it was number 7, potentially was through. It was a good run. She was unselfish through the pass, but no try on that occasion. As we see another error from Brisbane, and Scorps will now get a fresh set of 6 on the line.
Danny Davis looks to go short side straight away, comes off the right foot. And play on's the call.
First try as a mum for Danny Davis back in this tournament, so she'll be happy with that. As you can see, she's still looking fit and fast, and a beautiful try there to open up her campaign.
Brisbane players just getting caught short, both feet needing to be behind the line. Might have only got the one if that, on that occasion, play on was the call. Starting to find their legs a little bit now, the Scorpions, and they're definitely capitalising on those opportunities again. It came off another mistake from Brisbane when they were coming out of their end of the field. Here we go. A little bit of space on the left-hand side.
Yeah, they look nice when they take it wide, Brisbane. They've got to try and work their way back into this match. It's kind of skipped out to 4-1 in the last few minutes. So they need to try and get a result here if they can.
Oh, nice inside ball. No, they'll take it back.
That was unlucky there, Scott. Possibly forward off the ruck, but that looked more enterprising and just opened up a little bit by the Scorpions there. But not to be.
Just a little extra ball off the hip from the Scorps as they get over the halfway line. Shelley Davis back on the inside. It's just this momentum that they're getting, a few extra passes, keeping them on the back foot. They're going to get another penalty. So a couple of times now, last set as well for Brisbane, they're getting called offside. They're finding it really hard to stop this running game of the Sydney Scorpions at the moment.
Yeah, it's quite clinical, isn't it? They come on, but they're still recycling the ball. There's still good ball movement, as we see there. Oh, she might... No, there's another try.
And Lauren McCurley in the corner. Players just getting into position, letting the ball do the work.
Yeah, and same there. Well, as you said, Scott, beautiful ball movement and unselfish play. I think it's Hannah Dyball here again. Beautiful pass. Not much the winger could do. And then just a good put down by Lauren McCurley. Takes the score out to 5-1 to Sydney Scorpions.
And it was the positioning as well. You might have seen on the replay there, Dyball just coming in and then popping out on the angle, getting on the outside. Beautiful ball, putting her into the space.
Yeah, she engaged her defender perfectly there, as we'd expect from Hannah.
She'll be heading over to the World Cup, the Australian Women's Open team, in July.
Yeah, and we'll see a lot of players over the course of the next 3 days that will be heading over to represent Australia in July over in Nottingham.
Repeats it here for Brisbane from the penalty. Now Nicola tries to get in.
Interesting to see the call here. Refs are going to have a bit of a conversation.
So Shirley Davis is claiming that she didn't make a touch,
which you can't do within the 7. So, but it was kind of right on the 7 metre, so it'll be interesting to see what they call. It's going to give a penalty perhaps for Shelley Davis offside, I think is where it's going to land. It's one of those 50-50, Scott, there, because she was bang on the 7 metre.
So Brisbane with another full set of 6 to work with. Down by 4 on the scoreboard. Just Just over 5 minutes.
I like that play.
Now through the hands and getting it down just before heading over to the sideline. And that's positive there from Brisbane. They got the repeat set on the line. They come up with the points.
Yeah, this will be great to watch there. Charlie Nicola on to Zell Gillespie. But a nice little trick play back down the blind side. Gets them back into this match, Scott, heading into half-time.
And the second try for Zell. She's got both for Brisbane in the game. 5-2 on the athlete scoreboard.
And they needed that. So that'll give them a bit of confidence. They need to get a stop here.
Oh.
That is excellent to watch. No words. That's just beautiful to watch. So just sit back as you watch this replay and just watch Mackenzie Davis in action. Little sweep play here. Again, left to right. Defender had to come in and then just a beautiful pass off to their winger.
Yeah, it's a quality ball. Left to right.
I've seen Mackenzie Davis grow over these past, 10 years. I've been watching her in a multitude of sports. So as the halftime hooter goes in the background.
They'll come up and make the touch on Meg Muir. So pretty entertaining first half here in the opening match of the Women's Open. Sydney Scorpions go into the break in front. Current score, Sydney Scorpions 6, Brisbane 2. Defending premiers taking on the Brisbane Metro Mustangs, so you can see on screen, making their way back out to the field. It was an electric start from the Scorps as expected. They scored from the tap-off, Gab, but it was a bit of a period there. It was back and forward between the two teams. Scorps then end up finding their groove a little bit, and it's reflected on the scoreboard going into the second half.
They did, but if I was coach of the Brisbane team, I'd be saying you're getting opportunities when you get field position. So let's work at getting down the other end of the field and then seeing what opportunities we can create.
All right, Brisbane with the opening possession here in the second half. A different format, like we said, different teams this year, but also different in terms of the length of the game. 16-minute halves, 3 minutes for a half-time break. Opposed to our traditional 20-minute halves, is now Brisbane making their way through to the in-goal area. Just no support on the back, but promising signs early on here in the second half for Brisbane. Yeah,
she went straight through from acting half there. Perhaps needs to be a little bit more patient, but did an extremely good job to get through the line there. First set of 6, second half.
Scorps now roll over the halfway line.
And as we spoke about, Scott, doesn't matter who's on the field for Scorps, they just keep to those same processes, work to their strengths, as we see Hannah Dyball go through there. Well defended there by that winger. She's having a good game, Zell Gillespie. She scored a couple of tries for Brisbane and then came in to make the stop there.
She feeds it from half to Muir. Jenny Rousel puts it through the hands. Catherine Stevens gets solid contacts. Very experienced player in this Mustangs lineup.
Yeah, and they'll be looking for that experience, obviously, from Jenna Roswell and Catherine Stevens to help them get through this second half.
Oh, big bomb in the middle of the field. Oh, and turned over. Would have been able to just let that one hit the deck. There's nothing doing for Brisbane.
No, they probably got away with one there, and they get another set of 6 as a result. And here it'll be, Charlie Nicola, Chloe Nicola to look to put on a play.
Here's Charlie, ball in hand. And Forbes plays it. Back to Forbes. Oh, might have been on there. Shelley Davis was coming across. Hannah Forbes is down on the deck at the moment here for Brisbane. See her just taken a little knock off the ball, but it opened up that little short ball. Might have just had a little bit too much sauce on it, but they're punching through the hole nicely, Brisbane.
It was a beautiful pass. I think you're right. It might have just been a little bit too hard, but if she could have got hold of that, it would have been a try here as we look on the replay. And, an accidental bump as she threw the ball there. She's going off the back of the field, and let's hope she's just winded and back on the field in a few minutes. Hannah Forbes.
So replacement player on for Brisbane, and we're back underway.
This is better defence here, you'll see from Brisbane, Scott. They're pushing up, and they've just kind of unsettled the Scorpions set coming out of the box.
So the ball work was definitely helping them in the first half, getting themselves out of trouble. Now they're having to throw it around. Oh, this hurts, though. This hurts. It's really unfortunate because you hit the nail straight on the head there, Gab. It was a great defensive set for them. They put the pressure on. They weren't picking up the metres with ease like they have been throughout the first half, and then to give a penalty away on the last touch.
Yeah, it's a bit of a killer now. Now they've got a line defend. See Petey going through with Davis.
Phase play only a metre or so away from the line, and they can't compete with the footwork there from the Scorps.
No.
Andy O'Reilly getting their 7th.
And again, it's just that, back-to-back sets. It's very hard to contain this superpower team here. As we look on the replay, good phase play, and you just couldn't get back in time. And Maggie O'Reilly, too smart. She'll score that every day of the week. 7-2. Score's starting to blow out a little bit. They really need to be next to score here, Brisbane.
Ooh, and just dropped there, unfortunately, from Rousel. Olivia Atkins coming in on the play of the ball.
That's a good drive. But again, they're still pushing up. I like the way Brisbane are pushing up and putting that pressure on Scorpions, trying to minimise the amount of time they have on their line.
Scorps now again running into the line, and good defence coming up and making the touch on Maiolo.
They need a better set here, Brisbane, so they need to drive it up the field, get some well-earned metres, and probably get some fresh legs on at the back end. This is looking more promising, Scott.
And some space to work with down the sideline. We saw them pick up one of their 2 tries almost in that fashion with not much room to work with. This time an unclean and play the ball, unfortunately, from Lily Neal out on the left-hand side of the field.
And it feels like, Scott, same as the first half. Scorpions got a quick try, and it's just taking a few minutes for Brisbane to get into the speed of the game with a few errors in attack. But hopefully, like the first half, they come good and we get to see some good attacking prowess that we saw from at the back end of that first half.
Good defence again from Brisbane. They were stacked on the right-hand side, the Scorps. Pressure forced them to go back out to the left, and Brisbane come up and shut it down nicely.
Yeah, they've come up with some good defensive plays. Brisbane, now we're seeing him get down the other end of the field, which is promising.
Tanamu rolling in nicely. Nicola picks up from half, takes off, gets off the left foot, gets into the in-goal area, links up as well. They're going to score their 3rd. That was a lovely try from Brisbane. Like you said, Gab, the lead up much better for the Mustangs on that occasion. Nicola, she takes full advantage and sets it up.
Yeah, we'll see on the replay here. That's their best set of the game. And Nicola takes on one-on-one. Off she goes behind the scoreline and picks up none other than her sister. I bet they've done that in the backyard a few times over the years.
Oh, yeah.
Chloe Nicola.
What a combination. It's 2 up-and-coming superstars from Brisbane.
But if they can get a few more sets like that, Scott, they've got a penalty here, so not only they've scored the try, they've now got to stop and a penalty close to halfway. So their confidence will be up, and let's see if they can drive it down the field and get a few more opportunities.
All women's open action to follow this match. We've got last year's defending champions on at the moment, the Sydney Scorpions. Last year's runners-up will be on next, the Hunter Western Hornets. They'll be taking on the University of Queensland. It'll be their 2nd match, already playing earlier on this morning from the 2nd pool here in the Women's Open Division.
Good to see Hannah Forbes has recovered and back on the field there for Brisbane Metro. So she's back into the action as we see Scorpions spread the ball straight away wide.
Dyball picks up valuable metres yet again as Petey makes her way onto the field. Here's O'Reilly. Try scorer here in the 2nd half. Plays again offside. Davis sends it again. A lovely left to right. Hits the deck.
Yeah, look promising there for Scorpions. Another that left to right pass from Mackenzie Davis is definitely one to watch over the course of the next 3 days. Her wingers will be standing nice and wide and ready to collect those tries off that pass.
Rousel plays it as Meg Muir. Some forward. This is Bauer. Oh, back to Muir. Just slipping through the hands. Just been having a quick bo peep at the defensive line. Coming into the back end of the set. Petey gets him going forward. Archer might have been called offside. Almost looked like she was in position to make the touch. Refs have seen a little mistake in the play of the ball. Brisbane straight back onto the footy.
They were very quick there to get on the ball and get straight back into the action and line attack down the Scorpions' end of the field.
It's Muir and Bauer working in the middle of the field yet again. Rousel sweeps. Too many options there for them. They've got almost 5 players in the middle and the left-hand side of the field there for the Scorps. Sees Brisbane send it back over to the left. They're going to get a penalty.
Yeah, they're going to draw a penalty here, so they will get a fresh set of 6. Just trying to move the Scorpion defence around and some little phase play as well to try and get them up and have an opportunity on the next play.
Diving from a couple of metres out.
Good defence there by the Scorps. It's a nice little trick play by Brisbane.
It's Meg again. Loves this position on the field. Goes back to Nicola. Referees have picked something up. A little forward pass from the ruck.
Yep, so that's a penalty for Scorp. So they couldn't quite get through their set, Brisbane, but they're definitely at the right end of the field. So they'll be looking, I think they'll push up in defence here and try to stop Scorps getting to their box.
Scorpions now putting it through the hands, and again, not a bad job here from Brisbane. It's just these extra little passes that really help the Scorps get out of trouble. But as I say that, it's a bit of risk and reward as well from time to time. Throw that extra pass, and that one's been picked up as forward as well.
Yeah, and that came because of the defence of Brisbane there. So Scorpions were still trying to promote the ball to get out of their half. But it was a forward pass there. So it was reward for the work they did in defence there, Brisbane.
Here's Forbes again. No one available out on the right-hand side.
No, I think they just subbed. The new player was still coming on when Forbes had taken off. But looks like they've got a penalty. Well, they've got the ball back here. So they will get a fresh set. And they'll be looking to convert here. Looks like they're going to run a little sweeper play maybe to start with.
Try and slip in between 2 defenders. Page Folk come back to the 7-metre line to play it. Atkins will feed it from half. Stevens sends it out. Back out to the left-hand edge and a little bobble in the play of the ball.
Yeah, there was good contact in the touch there and it just held her up in the play ball. Couldn't get a clean roll ball there. So here we see Scorpion straight towards their box. And they'll get these fresh legs on after defending a set.
They'll be looking for a cleaner set this time around, turning the ball over on their last 2 attempts. Over the halfway line now as they play it on Brisbane's 10-metre line. Back inside. A bit tight in the middle here. Brisbane. Davis takes off again, gets into the in-goal area, swings it out the back. Great support play. Much better set. Ellie Wilson scores the try for the Scorpions.
Yeah, and she's getting a bag full of tries already in this match, but you saw there Davis just kind of skip out and through, straight at the girl that made the touch, and patiently looked for her support play. So that takes the score out to 8-3.
Another quality try for the Sydney Scorpions. As you see on the DoorDash replay. Brisbane throwing the footy around straight from the tap restart.
Yeah, and this is the first round for both, for these teams, and it's we'll see the quality as the tournament goes on and their combinations and everything like that will be nice to watch over the next 3 days.
It's Muir again. Bauer feeds it to her. Dive in at the line yet again.
Yeah, they're asking questions. But there we saw the Scorpions' defence was up to the challenge. But, yeah, they're definitely putting questions to them. Brisbane, their first match.
Placement plays on for the Scorpions. The transition to the interchange area has been pretty clinical. They do the hard work through the middle. Another penalty here. Contact coming in from the side.
Yeah, they were struggling to get back. Scorpions were just running straight at them. They're trying to push up in defence there, but just got a little bit caught up in the ruck. And so Scorpions get another set of 6 here. See what plays they're looking to run. Little sweeper play.
Danny Davis gets it, comes back inside. Oh, phase play. There's only about 30 centimetres away from the line there. Probably a little bit too close, but there is going to be another penalty here given away from Brisbane.
That was very close, that play the ball on the line there. They got a penalty out of it, though, so they'll be happy there. Another 5 touches now to attack.
Trying to squeeze through into his half on the second touch as well, I think. Maybe not going to script there for the Scorps, still with touches in their back pocket.
Yeah, they were trying to run what we call little boy play, where they kind of take off and then pass it to the inside runner, but they didn't quite get the execution right there, which, as we'd expect, as the tournament rolls on, plays like that, they'll become second nature for them.
Flowing out pretty nicely in the set here, Brisbane, as Nicola rips long, no winger at home.
No, I think they might have just made a sub down there on the wing, but yeah, you're right, she definitely ripped that ball out towards the wing, but again, down that end of the field, it's not the worst place to finish the set.
Let's see if Brisbane now can hold them up and keep them down this end of the field.
Yeah, they're doing a good job again, because we're coming up to third touch here. They've got to push up again this next one and really try and hold off. Yep, well done, Brisbane.
Defensive set so far. Dybel again picks up a little bump ball. They'll come back for a touch and pass.
I think they'll be happy with that, Brisbane. I think that was a really good defensive set there. So they kept pushing up and made it hard for Scorps to get their fresh players on. And they drew a penalty in the last touch.
Chloe Nicola gets him forward on the first. Placement players come on now for Brisbane. Forbes. It's Folk putting it through the hands. Via Atkins plays it on the last. Paige Folk goes back to Atkins, who tries to get in between defenders. Shelley Davis there again. Not too many people can get past Shelley Davis in defence. She's a fantastic defender for this team. Yeah,
she's just a workhorse for this team. She'll go all day in attack and defence, and she's very hard to score around. So that was enterprising play in attack, but defence was up to it there as the hooter goes at the end of this match.
The defending champions kickstart their campaign here in 2024. Exact fashion that they would have been looking for. A pretty strong victory at the end of the day, but there's promising signs there for Brisbane as well. That, like you said, towards the back end of that game, they've got a lot of things that they can build on going into their second game. Yeah, they sure can. It was a really good performance, but a good start for Brisbane in this tournament, and be interesting to watch them over the next few days. More Women's Open action coming up next. We've got the Hunter Western Hornets taking on the University of Queensland. Stay with us here. More live action coming your way from the champion.